Good morning, Grace Church family. We have another story of faith for you this morning, and I have Anne-Marie Pritchett here with us. And so I'm going to allow her to introduce herself in terms of just so that you can get to know her a little bit more.
My name is Anne-Marie Pritchett. My family has been going to Grace Church for about 10 years. The last 5 years, it's just been me and the kids. I work in Newmarket at South Lake. I'm a nurse. You probably haven't seen my kids around church. My son, Mike, is 13. He just got baptized back in June. And my daughter she'll be 11 in August, Emma.
That is fantastic. So, sorry, how long did you say you've been here at Grace Church?
10 years.
10 years already.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well, it has been quite the 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just talk right now about describing the challenge, the current challenge that you've been facing and what God has been teaching you through this time. And I think everybody will appreciate hearing these.
About a year ago, spring 2020, I was really sick with Crohn's, and I was off work. But my sick time was coming to an end, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I would just have to go back to work and suck it up. But I did have vacation planned in August. I had a week off. So I took that week off. We went camping, just the kids and I. And the very first day we were camping, I broke my foot. And so that was, looking back now, that was an answer to prayer, because I was still feeling quite sick with my Crohn's, but because I broke my foot on my week off, I was able to be off work sick again with my broken foot. So it's been like the last year I've been off work with the broken foot and then the Crohn's before that. And I was casted for 6 months. And then in January of this year, it wasn't healing properly. So the doctor decided to just fuse the bones and kind of put some hardware in there. And so I've been casted and in air boot on and off since January. So that's been my year.
Okay. And quite the year.
Yep.
Everybody's pretty familiar, I think, with some of those challenges. So could you share with us then perhaps 2 or 3 things that God has been teaching you, or maybe continuing to teach you through this time?
Well, the first thing is God has taught me just to simply listen and obey. I mean, he's very clear in the Bible, just listen and obey and things are going to go well for you. So a couple days before the kids and I went camping, we kind of weren't really in the mood. I wasn't feeling that well, but we were like, to camp or not to camp. But we decided to go. And looking back at first, it was like, if I didn't go camping, when I broke my foot, I would be back to work. Things would be fine, but God said, go camping. And if I didn't listen, I would have had to go back to work being sick with my Crohn's, and things wouldn't have worked out, So the first thing is God taught me to listen and obey right away and don't wait, And the second thing is God's provision. He provided for me a way to be off work with my Crohn's. He kind of orchestrated that whole thing. And God has provided a way for people like my parents and the people in the church to drive me or the kids anywhere that we needed to go for those, it was 8 or 9 months that I was able to drive in the last, 10 months. So he's provided, wheels for the kids and I, rides to church, meals when I wasn't able to stand up for more than, a couple minutes at a time due to the swelling, the meal train. So God provided for that. He provided financially. There's not one day where the kids and I have gone hungry. So God has just provided abundantly. And I've been able to be home with the kids, especially during COVID, and working at the hospital as a nurse during COVID. God's protected me and the kids from that. I've been able to be home while they're doing online schooling. It's not up to my parents or another family member to take care of them during the day while I'm at work, So God has just been blessing us abundantly that way as well.
And wow, because really, now that you're past sort of that piece of it, it's like looking back and seeing all of that is tremendously amazing. It's only God, right? It's only God.
Exactly.
Did you, I know God reminded you through some verses as well with some.
Yes.
Yeah.
Psalm 37:7, be still and know that I am God. That is just, when things are crazy, are busy, you don't know up from down, just be still and know that I'm God. I've got this, and the second one is Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. And that's just another piece of calming, let God fight this battle for me, and, God just, he takes over. He really takes over and takes the reins as long as you let him, so those two verses really spoke to me this last year, especially.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, Anne-Marie. I don't think that anybody could not hear you or see you and see that playing out in your life. That we just thank the Lord for how he works.
Yeah.
So what would you say to others who are facing the same or similar situations?
I would tell them that if you're in a dark place, if things seem impossible, I mean, being a single mom, having, my husband's not here to help take care of me. That's what I thought at first. And it seemed impossible. How am I going to provide for my kids? How am I going to make meals for them when I can't even stand up myself? God's going to make a way. He's going to part the waters for you, and he is going to do a miracle. As small as it may be, or as big as it may be, nothing is impossible with God. He's going to do it. And God also showed me Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all of your heart and don't lean on your own understanding of things, but in everything that I do, trust in him, and he's going to provide a way. He's going to make that path straight for me and very clear. If you ask him to open a door or shut a door, he's going to do that for you. It's not going to be oh, what do I do? It's going to be like, yes, this is what I do. So God has just been, amazing to me. And if you're in that place, he's going to provide for you financially, physically, mentally, spiritually, and do not doubt that. Don't doubt it for one time.
Thank you, Anne-Marie, for that incredible encouragement. I really pray that encouragement goes out loud and clear.
Amen.
And so how can we pray for you? How can we continue to pray for you? We have been praying for you, but how can we be praying for you now?
I think first of all would be like accelerated healing. Like as a nurse, I know this injury is going to take years to heal properly. I expect to be back to work probably next summer. So that's a year from now. That seems like a long time just for a broken bone, but it's difficult with, breaking your foot. So pray for advanced healing, accelerated healing, that God would move in a mighty way, and that, I'm in pain every day, and the kids, it's a burden. It is a burden on the kids too, because they have to do more, which is kind of great, but it would be nice to not be in pain. And secondly, just for strength and perseverance. I think that with any injury or any time you go through hard things, especially as a Christian, I think it's easy. The enemy wants us to get us down. He wants us to stop praying. He wants us to stop believing in a miracle that God can heal me overnight if he wants to, and just keep praying that, and trusting God that he's going to provide. And, he just puts doubts in my mind. You can't do it. You can't do it on your own. You don't have a husband at home to help you, but God has abundantly blessed me and said, you know what, even though the world might say, oh, I'm not here, I'm not doing this, but God's like, I am here. I am for you. He's just, I am over and over. And so just that continued strength and perseverance.
Okay. And we can do that. So anyways, Anne-Marie, thank you so much for sharing this morning and for your prayer requests. And so, we'll see what God's got in store for you in the coming months. Okay. But thank you again for being with us this morning. Okay.
No problem.
All right.